Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Globus the Elder, Cosmic Seeking, how's it going? Welcome everybody. So I guess to start things off, we should talk about the news that just happened earlier today. Nancy Pelosi has decided to step down from Democratic leadership. The real question at this point would be who is going to take her place. That's pretty much it. That's the important question. Unfortunately, it is more likely than not. It is more likely than not that we see some type of similar brand nomination. Maybe the likes of Hakeem Jeffries, which, for all intents and purposes, would be just the same and just as annoying. Yeah, it might be interesting, but we'll see. I mean, if it ends up being like Hakeem Jeffries, then really it's nothing much different is going to be around. Alio with the 10 biddies, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Is her job a training ground for presidential aspirants? No, her job is as Speaker of the House. That's it. That's pretty much it. She's just the Speaker of the House in terms of like what she does. She doesn't train presidential aspirants or aspiring presidential candidates. It'll be bad for the person that takes it. What? Like the speakership? I don't think so. Well, I guess it depends. Oh, it would be bad for the person that takes the minority leader spot? Yeah, well, it would be the Democrats, right? Are there sufficient votes for anything other than a centrist corporatist? Probably not. My suspicions is that it's going to be someone like Hakeem Jeffries. And of course, if that's the case, then most likely, I mean, people are, happy that she is stepping down. But if it ends up just being someone like Hakeem Jeffries, it's like, okay, doesn't really matter. Nothing good is going to happen. Republicans are already talking about Hunter Biden hearings. Yes, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Nobody is sworn in until January. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I have, nothing to do with anything. It will take artistry to get any bill in the U.S. and House. It's not definite, but Biden's administration will have to be cunning. I guess. Um, I don't know. I feel Congress will be a shit show for the next couple of years, probably. We'll get more of the same. Expecting anything else would be unrealistic. It's not about expecting anything else. It's just like reporting on what's happening. Most likely what it's going to end up being is just like another corporate, another centrist like Hakeem Jeffries, in which case, like, it is what it is. Yeah, to piggyback off that, Wolf Glenn, the Hunter Biden hearings. Yeah, every accusation is a confession. So all these like political witch hunts and whatnot, they're gonna begin. It's gonna be one heck of a roller coaster, that's for sure. Ginormous waste of time. We'll talk about the Hunter Biden stuff in a second. Yeah, I guess we'll start with that, right? Why not?
What's at stake in the December 6th run?
Why not?
With a majority secured in the House, Republican lawmakers are moving quickly to launch a handful.
Well, the real fear is will the House raise debt ceiling and do a continuing resolution for the budget? I don't know. Hopefully, it's not MTG or Tucker mentality in the U.S. House. I mean, if it's Republicans, then yeah, it's pretty much there. The Republicans will use this to get revenge, but without a huge majority, I don't think they can cause as much trouble as they would like. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna try, and they do get to determine leadership positions. And whatnot. I'm concerned that the so-called Hunter Biden laptop is said to be real. Yeah, the Hunter Biden laptop is real. It's just a whole big nothing burger. That's the problem. The Hunter Biden laptop is like it's a thing, and we saw it. There was like, obviously like nude pictures and Hunter Biden engaging in parties and whatnot, but like, okay, what does that have to do with Joe Biden? The only option to save America is to vote Republican. Yeah, if you like fascism, dude. The only option is if you like authoritarianism. Yeah, debauchery. How's it going, Pirate Ninja? Yeah, that's basically like the most damning thing on that laptop, or on the laptop. Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Exactly. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Nobody gives a shit. It was a big nothing burger then, and it's gonna be a big nothing burger now. Hunter Biden is not in politics. That's right. Hunter Biden is not the current president of the United States. That's true. Also, playing on the nepotism angle doesn't really bode well for Trump. Right, like, imagine playing on, like, the angle of, like, oh, well, Hunter Biden's had, like, weird dealings in Ukraine and energy, the Ukrainian energy company and whatnot. Yeah, how many deals did Ivanka or Ivana Trump, the daughter, how many deals did the daughter get from China? How much money did she get from deals from China with her clothing line and fashion line or whatever? Better to vote a Muppet. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I don't know what LMT is, but can you prove to me how Soros is controlling Joe Biden? What? Where do you have any evidence for these claims? Or is this like some anti-Semitic dog whistle? Is this some anti-Semitic dog whistle? Republicans are invulnerable to hypocrisy. They don't really give a shit. True. It gives almost 50% of funding. Can you prove that? Send me some evidence. Back up your claim. Send me some evidence. Toss it over. That's my son. Biden movie with the woman from the Mandalorian series. What? Oh, the person that went to the Daily Wire. Trump is definitely at least 5 times worse. True. Oh yeah, Gina Carano. I'm waiting on my Soros check. It's late this month. True. No, send it to me via Whispers. You clown. I told you, send it to me via Whispers or send it to me directly. Maybe I didn't spell it out properly for you. Send me evidence of your claim of 50% of funding comes from George Soros. Yeah, slide into my DMs. Listen. Focus, okay? Oi. Multiply, whatever your stupid name is. Oi. Focus. Send me the evidence of your claim before you start making other nonsensical claims. Come on, one at a time. These people. Hasn't Soros funding shift to satellites? I don't know. I'm just trying to get him to back up one of his claims. Come on, buddy. You know how to do whispers, right? Or DMs, whatever. Come on. Come on. Is Newsmax a source? Well, it's a source. Whether or not it's a credible source and legitimate will be another question. The funny thing is there's tons of legitimate critiques to be made. Are the Dems in bed with the arms industry? The answer to that is, of course, yes. Getting donations from them? Yes. The answer to that is also yes, and so are the Republicans and basically all of the DOD. Yeah, sure. You can criticize like corruption and whatnot. But to like this idea that, that Democrats are like the same as Republicans is just not the same. Not in the realm of reality. Oi, I'm still waiting. Come on, chop chop. Let's go. Send me the sources of your first claim so that we can move on to the next one. I don't know how to DM here. Bullshit. Bullshit. Just because you're big mad that I didn't let you post some fucking probably Nazi shit, Nazi link, in my chat, is not an excuse. If you want to send a link, you know how to DM. Come on now. Then send it to me if it's the Wall Street Journal. It shouldn't be that hard. Come on. Hello, Mr. Troll, who has been banned in 12 plus channels. Yeah, we've got back-to-back repeat offenders. Look at that. Oh, wow. You didn't know how to DM. Look at that. This is not proof of your claim, my friend. This is proof of who is donating to who. That's it. That's not 50%. If you add all of these donors, my guy, do you know how to do math? If you add up all of these donors, guaranteed, it's going to be more than whatever this number is. No, your claim was 50% of that. This claim also doesn't prove what you were talking about. In your own claim, billionaire George Soros reigns as the biggest donor, but however, Mr. Soros has invested more than 128 million. The second, third, fourth, and fifth biggest donors are all gave to Republicans. So the second, third, fourth, and fifth biggest donors of the entire cycle all gave to Republicans. Yeah. So what was your point? Your point was what? Is this a tanky stream? No. No, this is not a tanky stream. That Soros controls everything Biden decides? What? So, how do you know that? What's the evidence for that? This is not evidence for that. This is evidence that a large, wealthy person donated in campaigns. Yes. What does that mean? Does that mean that Republicans are controlled by the third, fourth, and fifth and largest donors? Does that mean the Republicans are controlled by these? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Are you going to admit that Republicans then must be controlled by the second, third, fourth, and fifth biggest donors? Wow. Do you think Soros gives 130 mil for free? No. What you're complaining about is just money in politics, okay? But you're putting this anti-Semitic twist on it, okay? You're putting this anti-Semitic twist. Why don't you say the same thing about what's these guys' name? The Koch brothers. Well, one of them. Why don't you say the same thing? Why don't you say the same thing? Why is it always George Soros? That's kind of weird. To be fair, math is hard. True. Yeah, he gave 28 million. That's a drop in the bucket. There was like some number, some exorbitant amount of number, um, billions. I'm not. I'm not asking about Europe or whatever. I don't care. What evidence do you have? And why are you pointing out George Soros in specific? It seems to me like you just want to be. You're just dog whistling with anti-Semitic tropes. Yeah, he wants to feel that band hammer. Really. Like it's always the same like silly tropes. No, he's not. George Soros is not the most involved like that. You're out of your freaking mind. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about Soros, not sure why, but the Republicans hate this guy. It's because he's Jewish. It's really because that. It's an anti-Semitic dog whistle, Avi. That's what it is. It's an anti-Semitic dog whistle because you never hear them complain about like the Koch brothers or anything like that. That's kind of strange, and the Koch brothers are probably way more influential. What about the multi billionaire from Fox News? What's the guy's name? Um, what's the guy's name? Murdoch. Why don't we ever hear complaints about Murdoch having massive influence in politics? It's always weird. Um, yeah, I wonder. Me too. Me too. Hmm. Very strange. Very, very strange. Peter Thiel should be no, but he's Republican. You see, they never bring up those names. They never bring up those names. Yeah, but it's kind of weird that you never bring that up, right? It's kind of weird that you only bring up George Soros. Hmm. Strange. What's up, chatters? Howdy. I'm not here to endorse like these anti-Semitic nonsense, anti-Semitic dog whistles. Soros has publicly admitted he is trying to subvert nations. Yeah, sure, dude. Find me a quote or find me something, and then tell me why I should care. Um, as a good anti-capitalist, I would shit on every billionaire without exception. True. It doesn't. Yeah, but the issue here that we have is that all of them are billionaires. That's the problem. The problem that these clowns have is that he's Jewish. That's the difference. That's the difference. Anyone who's bringing up Soros unprompted should be treated as sus. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. No, these are not just Russian bots. These are just people who want to come in and try to spread anti-Semitic bullshit. The key, that is the key, that money accumulation is a power that needs to be pushed against and always has been. Yeah, you're talking about capitalism. Soros is anti-Semitic. Can you can you provide a source for the claim that Soros, a Holocaust survivor, being anti-Semitic? Can you provide a source for that? I had a nightmare that clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson yelled at me and now I can't get back to sleep. Jesus Christ. That's enough to give anybody nightmares. Wait, who? The chatter? The clown in chat? Yeah, like I need evidence to the claim that that George Soros is anti-Semitic. George Soros, a Holocaust survivor, being anti-Semitic. Can I get some evidence of that? Of that claim? Because so far, the only thing you've been able to prove to me is that a wealthy person pours a lot of money into elections. Which, yeah, no shit, dude. The only thing that you've proven thus far is that a wealthy billionaire is pouring money into elections. That's it. No shit. This seems like a low IQ stream. Really? Let me help you with that. Here, let me help you with that. There you go.
George. Of the economy. George Soros is a legend in the world of investment management. When he moves money, the markets react. When he speaks, the world listens. He's also made an impact through a network of foundations dedicated to global economic and political improvements. He is the chairman of Soros Fund Management and the author of The Crisis of Global Capitalism, Open Society Endangered. I am pleased to have him on this program for a continuation of a series of conferences we've had since I've been doing this program about the nature of the economy, capitalism, and how he sees the future. Welcome back.
Nice to be here.
Tell me about how, the origin of the book, because you have before laid out for me and others your own philosophical base in an open society.
Right.
Start with me by talking about the open society, in a sense, as a foundation, and where you have gone in your concerns about the economic crisis we face as we speak.
I started out with a framework that I really developed as a student when I was influenced by Karl Popper, right. Open society and its enemies. Totalitarian systems that impose themselves on the people by force in order to get their ideology accepted. And he counterposed to that the concept of an open society.
We can talk about money getting out of politics, but that's a whole separate conversation. Right.
Has a monopoly of the truth, that all views are, that we may be wrong. And therefore, we need a government that we...
If this doesn't have evidence of George Soros being anti-Semitic, I'm gonna fucking ban you.
are ready to replace a democratic government, a market economy, critical thinking. So that was my concept of open and closed society. And of course, coming from Hungary, where I lived through the Nazi regime and the communist regime, I was obviously in favor of open society, and I set up a foundation to foster open societies. Our goal was to help open up.
What I miss, just some asshole being anti-Semitic and trying to prove to me how George Soros is anti-Semitic. Apparently, that's what we're going to hear. I'm sure at any point in this video, we're going to hear evidence of George Soros being anti-Semitic. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to ban this fucking clown.
Closed societies make open societies more viable, because open societies have deficiencies as well, and foster a critical mode of thinking. Then, as the communist regime
How's it going?
Started to collapse, I got sucked into a revolutionary transition, and I ended up
I know,
setting
it's
up
a predictable
foundations in
meme.
some 30 countries. And they did a lot of good, I think, just by...
But like, you see, like the whole point of going through all of this, chat, is to just kind of go through the motions, like, will this clown get banned? Yay or nay? All right, yeah, let's do that. Because like that's what you do if you want to be intellectually honest. We're gonna go through this, okay? Who said he was anti-Semitic? The clown that was here earlier, if they're still here. And this is, by the way, the video that we're listening to is the proof that he sent. This is his link, his proof. This is his link that George Soros is anti-Semitic. If this link does not provide proof, he's just gonna get banned.
Empowering people who had a concept of
yeah, it's
of
just
an
a
open
troll
society,
getting
to move
throwing
towards
off
it.
my game. Yeah, I know.
I don't
hey,
have a definition
asshole,
of what
stop
an open
DMing
society
me,
is.
okay?
Open society has to
If you
define itself.
if you can't prove yourself, and your biggest proof to me is a YouTube video of an interview, it better have fucking something in here. All right, this is the first video. I'm already wasting so much time on your nonsense. If you can't prove this to me, then goodbye. The second one at 8:30. Jesus fucking Christ, you better have something.
Is that you went out with this protector of yours, who
8:30.
swore that you were.
I'm going
his
to the
adopted godson.
to
Talking
the
He
timestamp.
bought them for
pictures from 1944.
All right, here we go. I'll put it on stream, just so that everybody can see. I guarantee it's going to be a quote mine or a quote taken out of context, probably, or maybe just nothing. Just ban him for such an outrageous claim. It's not just an outrageous claim; it's super wrong, and the evidence provided just doesn't even support it. But yeah, you will be banned if this does not include the evidence that you're claiming. This is 8 minutes 9 seconds. You said it was at 8:30.
Or of what happened to George Soros's friends and neighbors.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian, right? And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events.
You said
is threatened
8:30.
to the tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
My understanding.
So this is not him being anti-Semitic. It's him calling in the face of evil. He's basically saying he did what he had to do. So
Understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours, who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years.
Okay,
it
so
difficult?
he
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away.
So how is this being anti-Semitic? He had an experience during Nazi Germany. What is the point? This is not proof of your claim, you fucking idiot. Yeah, at 14 years old, dude. That's not proof of anti-Semitism. No, shut up. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. If you make a claim, you better fucking back it up, especially claims like this. What a fucking waste of my time. What a waste of my time. All right, let's get on with the actual news, folks.
With a majority secured in the House, Republican lawmakers are moving quickly to launch a handful of investigations. Among them, a probe into President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and his foreign business dealings. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. Rick, so much of the focus is going to be on those investigations because the reality is this majority is very narrow. And with Democrats still in control of the Senate, legislation certainly may be a little more difficult to push through.
That's right. There is not going to be any Republican-led legislation that is going to pass Congress. The House could pass, who knows, some tax cut bills or things like that as a messaging exercise, but the Democrats will not approve that in the Senate. And if President Biden got some Republican legislation that he didn't want anyway, he would veto it. So there's just not going to be much legislative activity other than just the spending bills they have to pass. But that doesn't mean it's going to be boring. How much Hunter Biden can you stand, Akiko? I think we are just going to have wall-to-wall Hunter Biden. There are going to be hearings in the House by Republicans who now control all the committees, and they can investigate whatever they want. Not just Hunter Biden. We could hear about some other Biden family members who the Republicans claim have tried to capitalize on the Biden name over the years, especially when Joe Biden was vice president under Barack Obama.
True. We don't hold people accountable to crimes of necessity when a literal fucking Holocaust before its frontal lobe was even developed was going on. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, that wasn't even proof of anti-Semitism. Like on top of that, yeah, I stole some shit when I was 14. Oh, okay. I helped remove somebody's property when I was 14. Dude, fuck off. I heard the theory that the content supposedly taken from Hunter Biden's laptop might have been hacked from a Google Docs account. Any thoughts? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, Redmond. The only thing that we can extrapolate from Hunter Biden's laptop controversy is that there was some raunchy behavior and nude pics. Okay. Okay. Yeah, time for Biden to bring out the clicky pen and sign some executive orders like no tomorrow. Yeah, something. Do something. Many people were killed and murdered. True. The only thing this is proof of is survival instincts. Exactly. Not anti-Semitism. If you're gonna make some wild-ass claim in this channel, you better fucking back it up. You better back it up. Or you're just going to get banned.
Right. They're going to have a very narrow majority, and I think the question for voters is anything meaningful ever going to come out of what the Republicans do in the House, or is it just going to look like a circus? My bet is it's going to look like a circus, but those investigations into Hillary Clinton.
Right. They only want to investigate Hunter to get attention. Not only that, it's just to waste time, really, because there's nothing there. Bipedal.
So who knows? Maybe that'll happen again.
Meantime, Rick, on the Democratic side, they no longer hold the majority in the House. Questions about the future of current House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. We're expected to hear from her today. What are you hearing about what that announcement is expected to be and whether she still has the support within the party?
It sounds like
we need congressional resources to investigate a raunchy laptop that we already saw the contents of. Really? We need to waste Congress's time instead of fucking legislating. We need to waste time to figure out, like, yeah, dude, fucking Hunter Biden was probably really raunchy and had some, like, you know, pictures in there and stuff. Yeah, dude, totally. Makes total fucking sense.
She is going to announce that she is stepping down. Of course, she's not going to be the House Speaker no matter what next year, but that she's going to step down as...
Yes, thank you, Bipedal. Even if Hunter ended up doing something wrong, then you fucking go after Hunter Biden if he did some weird criminal shit. What does that have to do with anybody else other than Hunter Biden? He's a grown-ass adult. Those would be his consequences anyways, right? Do you think that the investigations will make people realize that Hunter had an addiction issue and Biden and give Biden some sympathy points? Maybe. Maybe if Democrats can really you know, push on that, maybe. But like, we kind of already saw that, right? Like, their biggest like gotcha was like a message from Joe Biden to Hunter Biden saying that he loves him. That was one of their big bombshells, by the way, that Republicans were going with.
Democrats' leader in the House. Now, if she stayed in that role, she would end up being House Minority Leader again, a job that she has had.
We've seen the content of the laptop. Yes, we know what happened with the stupid laptop. Yes, we have. Even if, regardless of anything, that would be a Hunter Biden problem. There's no justification of wasting Congress's time and energy on something that has nothing to do with anything other than Hunter Biden.
She's going to say, I'm going to remain in Congress, but I'm going to step down as the leader of the Democrats in Congress, and that would be to let some new people take hold. And let's face it, Nancy Pelosi, I think she's 82 years old.
The timeline on that is quite sketchy from what I've heard.
Where is the young blood within the Democratic Party? I don't think anybody could name any names. Tim Ryan looked like he might be a potential Democratic leader, but he left his seat in the House to run for the Senate in Ohio. He lost. So he's out of politics for the time being. So the Democrats just need some fresh faces, and this feels like the right time to do it.
And the AP reporting that we could get that announcement within the next hour or so. So all eyes on Nancy Pelosi this morning. Rick Newman, as always, thanks so much for that.
See ya, Kiko.
People are going to start to feel bad for Hunter, and that's going to backfire. Maybe. Maybe. That would be the best case scenario. So the fucking moron that was here earlier was DMing me and stopped DMing me. Finally, he shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. There's like no place for this kind of shit here. People are going to start feeling for Hunter, and hopefully this crusade will backfire. Yeah, I'm hoping that that's like the best case scenario. White House response to GOP Hunter Biden's laptop probe, long debunked conspiracy theories, of course, because that's what the GOP runs on. The White House has responded to House Republicans' announcement that they would be opening a probe into Joe Biden's involvement with his son Hunter's business interests by casting the probe as an exploration of long debunked conspiracy theories. President Biden is not going to let these political attacks distract him from focusing on Americans' priority, and we hope congressional Republicans will join us in tackling them instead of wasting time and resource on political revenge. At a press conference held on Thursday, Representative James Comer and Jim Jordan, of course, gymnastics Jim Jordan, announced that House Republicans would be opening up investigations to determine the extent of President Biden's involvement with his son's Hunter Biden's business dealings. I'm sure that right after or simultaneously, they will be starting to investigate Ivanka Trump for her dealings with her fashion line in China, I'm sure that they will immediately begin proceedings on that as well. I have a feeling that failing to address inflation in a meaningful way in favor of this gotcha-style investigation will continue to push moderates away. Maybe. The GOP's everything of a reboot of 2020? I don't know. How's it going, Cheeseburger Freedom Eagle? Welcome. According to Comer and Olympic levels of mental gymnastics Jim Jordan, Republicans have already gathered incriminating evidence of wire fraud, violation of Foreign Agent Restriction Acts, money laundering, and tax evasion. Damn, dude! Wow, all this evidence? Damn, I'm convinced that if they have all this evidence, that they would be referring this to the DOJ, right? I mean, it's evidence of criminal activity, so why the necessity? I'm pretty sure that's on Trump's program every Monday. True. The problem is the Fed only has one tool to deal with inflation, and Congress is dysfunctional. True. Is Matt Gaetz history? Not as far as I can tell. Not yet, anyways. We're still in the this is on Matt Gaetz dealings are under investigation. We have no idea where that's at. Yeah, and where was this in the midterms? Where was this in the midterms? That's very strange. Jordan, who is expected to become chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, now Republicans have secured a narrow minority in the chamber, plans to make Biden's overseas dealings a central focus of the committee's oversight efforts in new Congress. As part of our investigation, we have evidence that the finances, credit cards, and bank accounts of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden were commingled, if not shared, and on some accounts at least, red flags were raised by banks. Damn, dude, then why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this in a press conference instead of like referring these allegedly illegal activities to the authorities? How about Madison Cawthorn? Oh, that far right person is irrelevant. He lost his election, so he's pretty irrelevant. Thank goodness. From Newsweek, the president's son. The president's son announced back in December of 2020 that his tax affairs were under federal criminal investigation. Last month's report from the New York Times revealed that the prosecutors were also looking back into Biden's foreign business dealings for the last 4 years. What, Hunter Biden's? Yeah, if Hunter Biden did some sketchy shit, then that's a problem of Hunter Biden. That's about it. Nah, he's a piece of shit. I'm glad he's gone. Army of Lime. I'm glad he's gone. There are plenty of legit criticisms of Biden, but they're doing this juvenile shit. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. That is very true. Yes. So even if it's true that Hunter Biden is under all these investigations, again, why does Congress have to do this? And what does that have to do with President Joe Biden? If Hunter Biden did some sketchy ass shit, then that's a Hunter Biden problem. Anyways. Comer also noted Biden's business associates met with his father on numerous occasions while Biden serving as vice president. So not president. Okay. The Bidens flourished and became millionaires by simply offering access to family. No, I think they were millionaires beforehand. That's silly. That's silly. What are we looking into? We're looking into a peep. We're getting a peek at the circus that we're going to expect as Republicans get ready to take over the House. The business activity and drug use of Hunter Biden have long been a political liability for the president, who has stood by and stated that he is proud of his son. Damn, dude. House Republicans followed up the press conference by releasing a report that outlines their past and future investigative efforts. Committee Republicans' investigation has uncovered evidence demonstrating deliberate and repeated deception of the American people, abuse of executive branch for personal gain, use of government power to obstruct investigation, and prevent transparency. Damn, that sounds like what Trump is doing. And potential violations of the U.S. Constitution, Foreign Emoluments Clause. Oh, damn, just like Trump was doing. Interesting. It's funny how, like, every single accusation is just a confession, folks. Damn. Maple Leaf Dragon, after my day at work, I'm ready to butcher my own free-range, gas-fed cow and indulge in some rare steaks. Jeez. Your own cow? Last time I heard, the Trumps are not angels either. Can the Republicans get Merrick Garland fired? No. I don't think so. The executive branch is the one that appoints the attorney general, right? Oh god. I'm so tired. Ugh. Who appoints attorney general? Ah, okay, just self-served. Gotcha. Yeah, it's the president nominates them and then they get confirmed by the Senate. That's it. So no, they can't fire him. The president's personal participation in his family global business ventures, committed through and by a complex network of relatives and associates to enrich this Biden family, has exposed the U.S. to national security risks that could leverage our enemies to undermine the office of the president. Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever. According to a Washington Post report from last month, the U.S. attorney in Delaware is currently annulling charges against Hunter Biden, who has been presented with evidence by a federal investigator that Biden has committed tax evasion. Damn, dude. Hail the Beast. How's it going? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Holistic Field, how's it going? Echo Wrestle Dragon, howdy. Hail the Beast, welcome. Welcome, 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 everybody. Folks, hola Kala, how's it going? If this is your first time here, I am A Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a chill time here. I was playing Bayonet and it was so much fun. Awesome. It's the Tracksuit Mafia. No, isn't that James from the internet? There we go. Folks, if you haven't already, please consider checking out twitch.tv/Hilda_Beast. They do fantastic streams. So, yeah. Go check them out. Go follow them. Go sub to them. Do all that awesome stuff. Pork Nickel, how's it going? Welcome, everybody. If you haven't seen me before, as I said, we do the news, we do the politics Monday through Thursday. Oh, Hilda too. Gotcha. So feel free to hang out. Hit the follow button if you end up liking the channel. It does help us out. So if you like the content, just smack the follow button. You get 5 free emotes. And if you really, really want to help the channel, head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. So I appreciate Hilda Beast bringing all her wonderful community over here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's continue talking about the circus that can be expected as Republicans get ready to take control of the House. According to a Washington Post report from last month, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware is currently mulling charges against Hunter Biden, who has been presented with evidence by federal investigators that Biden has committed tax evasion and lied about his drug use on a form he filled out in order to purchase a firearm. He was using crack cocaine at the time. Hallie Biden, but Hunter's late older brother Bo's widow, and Hunter's ex-girlfriend hid the weapon from him because she was scared that he would use it. Yeah, so anyways, most of this is what I see is a Hunter Biden problem. And it is well known that he has had issues, with, drugs in the past and whatnot. Oh, damn, dude. Thank you so much for the tip. That's just free $25 to support leftist causes. Thank you so much. I'm not even going to bother to read out your name. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It seems like Congress and the president would have to fire the U.S. Attorney General, but I would safely assume more than one entity would have to be included. I think the president can do that, right? I think that's like an executive branch. Not a national political scandal. If he did it, arrest him and indict him and then try him. The end. Yeah, basically. That's exactly my position. It's like, dude, if Hunter Biden did some freaking crimes and he gets arrested, oh well. I mean, he did the crime. I mean, that's it. It has nothing to do with the president at all. The president can request, but if the GOP is angry, and that's too bad Trump's still walking around. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Or what that's the relevance to. Anyways, the point being is that if thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. If Hunter Biden gets indicted for some stuff that he did, oh well, that's a Hunter Biden problem. But Republicans Republicans are going to try to make this into some sort of circus show, whatever. I 100% believe that they should lock his ass up for any crimes that he committed. Absolutely. Rich people should not be exempt. Yeah, no one's in an ideal scenario. No one should be exempted from the law just because you're rich or just because you're, the president's son. That does not mean you should be allowed to skirt the law. It's that simple. All right, let's talk about some good news. Well, let me rephrase that. Let's talk about some more promising news. A little bit more promising news. Yeah, Hunter Biden's going to be the new Benghazi. I can't freaking wait. People in politics crave that knockout punch, which will put the rivals out of business forever. The GOP seems to see that potential in Hunter Biden. Yeah, but they're misplaced. The Republicans are attempting to prove that Biden as VP used an undue influence in office. Their logic is that Hunter could not get the jobs without Biden's help. Yeah. Well, good luck. The GOP also does live in a different reality. Yeah, they live in their own alternative reality. True. Right, and these would also be the same people who talk about cancel culture. Yep. True. Shame. Anyways, I don't know who sent that $25 tip. Well, actually, I do know because I can see everything on the back end. But just in case, thank you for supporting leftist causes. All right, let's talk about some more, a little bit promising news. Congress sends their first weed bill to Biden. The Senate passed a bill designed to expand medical marijuana research on Wednesday by unanimous consent. Passage of the legislation, which was sponsored by Dianne Feinstein and Earl Blumenauer in their respective chambers, signaled a new era in federal cannabis policy. Its first standalone marijuana-related bill, approved by both chambers of Congress, the House passed this bill in July, also by unanimous consent. The bill, which will make it easier for scientists to conduct medical marijuana research and protect doctors who discuss benefits and drawbacks of using this drug with patients, now heads to the president's desk. Marijuana is categorized as Schedule 1 on the Controlled Substance Act, the same category as heroin. Yes, because they're obviously the same thing. Makes total sense. Schedule 1 substances are classified as having no medical benefit and high propensity to addiction. Yeah, like weed. But some research has been conducted in the last decade, and anecdotes from thousands of patients around the country suggest that cannabis may actually have medical usefulness and for certain medical conditions. Because cannabis is a Schedule 1 substance, however, it's very difficult to do research. Scientists need to get approval from multiple agencies to conduct the studies, which can sometimes take years. And until recently, they were only allowed to use marijuana grown by the University of Mississippi, which more closely resembled weed available in the streets in the 1970s rather than modern-day dispensary products. Biden on the campaign trail said that marijuana needed to be easier to study, and last month issued an executive order instructing the Department of Health and Human Services to begin a review process of available research on marijuana and issue a recommendation to the Department of Justice on reclassifying or declassifying marijuana from the Controlled Substance Act. Yeah, which we talked about. Yeah. Whose emote is this? Oh, USA hold? Nice. Nice. The wheels of justice turn slowly. True. But it is a small step in the right direction. But in certain cases, the government has programs and studies for drugs like Mary Jane for eye pressure. Yeah, the whole point of this would hopefully make it easier to do more studies, and hopefully based on what Biden was seemingly poised to do, is attempt to open the pathway or open the road for declassification. That's about it. Passage of the medical research bill by unanimous consent signals that perceptions about marijuana are changing. Like, no shit. Imagine saying this in 2022. Yeah, dude, no shit. While expanded research is arguably the most conservative action Congress could take on marijuana, it is something that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. Let's see. A decade ago. Who was president again a decade ago? That was 2012. Let me see. Let me just do some really quick. Who was president 2012? Oh, that's very interesting. Huh. Unthinkable. Interesting. And in 2012, let me just do who held Congress in 2012. Oh, never mind. Congress was split at that time. You got a semi-pass, Barry. Should have done it in your first term. Can we all agree that this is one good thing that boomers have brought on this nation? Legal weed. Ha! I'll see. I'll confirm when I see it, my friend. What is the political leanings of MSNBC? Liberal. It is something that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. Yeah, I disagree. During Obama's first term, he could have, whatever. The bill came close to passing in September, but was held up by Senator John Cornyn, of course, Republican, of Texas. Cornyn lifted this hold earlier this week. After working on the issue of cannabis reform for decades, finally the dam is starting to break. At a time when more than 155 million Americans reside where adult use of cannabis is legal, at the state or local level, there are 4 million registered medical marijuana users, with many more likely to self-medicate. It is essential that we are able to fully study this impact of cannabis use. The legislation also sets up an ongoing discussion of the Safe Banking Act, a bipartisan bill that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said he wants to pass before this Congress ends. This is going to, I think, open up the financial side of medical marijuana. Let me double check before I make that confirm that. Oh yeah. That's what I was correct. The Safe Banking Act seems to harmonize federal and state law by prohibiting federal regulators from taking punitive damage against depository institutions that provide banking services to legitimate cannabis-related businesses. Right, it's to free up the financial side, the economic side. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure before, Pure tanky? True. MSNBC is known for its pro tanky takes. True. So good stuff. This is definitely on the positive end. It seems like it's milquetoast, but it is a good step in the right direction. Between the rhetoric that Joe Biden has been talking about, declassifying marijuana, from this bill about to be signed, from the Safe Banking Act. I mean, it all points to the idea that if the right, if Democrats are able to, at least out of the two parties, it would be more than likely that we will get federal legalization if we continue down this path. I do see federal legalization, should this path continue. Former Trump financial lieutenant Allen Weisselberg testifies against 2 Trump companies. Ooh. New York. After working for Trump family business for nearly 50 years, Allen Weisselberg took the witness stand and started testifying for prosecutors in the criminal tax fraud against the 2 of those companies. Weisselberg, former President Trump's closest non-family confidant and former chief financial officer, began answering questions about alleged tax-free payments, apartments, and cars and other perks secretly paid to him and other executives by the Trump Corporation and Trump Payroll Corporation. Uh-oh. Trump himself is not charged in a 12-year scheme against allegedly in Manhattan state court case and is not expected to appear in court during this trial. However, Weisselberg, the prosecution's most important witness so far, quickly testified that he knowingly received $1.7 million of the tax-free benefits during the alleged scheme without telling his tax preparer. Uh-oh. He pleaded guilty in August to 15 criminal counts that paralleled the charges against the 2 companies. The corporation agreement with the Manhattan District Attorney Office requires Weisselberg to testify truthfully in exchange for roughly 100 days of incarceration. That's far less than the maximum 15-year prison term he would face without this plea deal. Jesus Christ. CNN is moving center-right, sadly. Yeah, I mean, I tend to avoid CNN. Can we get nationwide mail-in ranked choice voting too? One day. You gotta fight for it state by state. If you want, like, any ability to attempt to kind of, like, break up, like, the whole duopoly thing, yeah, a nationwide, like, ranked choice voting movement would be a way. Prosecutors hope that Weisselberg's testimony will provide evidence that the tax-free payments were improperly directed by a high-ranking executive in the course of his or her job and were in behalf of the company, the legal requirement for a conviction under New York law. Lawyers for 2 Trump companies argued that Weisselberg acted alone, directing the payments to benefit from himself and others, not for the companies. His opening statement appears to be begin delivering on that plea deal. Answering questions from prosecutor Susan Hoffinger, Weisselberg testified that he believed or knew that Trump had approved these perks. He also said that he directed reductions in his salary to repay the Trump Corporation for some of the benefits, which ultimately totaled $200,000 a year. Nice. Asked by Hoffinger why he didn't ask for a raise, Weisselberg explained that the companies would have to pay him $400,000 of total perks and a tax bite on the benefits to produce just the same financial income. Ranked choice voting is doubtful because hardly anyone can do the math. Ha! Just wait till the candidate with the most first place votes loses. That's okay. It works in some states. There's like a handful of states that have ranked choice voting. And it works. So, I don't know. What the heck? Alaska was auto-modded? For what? That's funny. Ranked choice makes sense for multi-set contest, and that's about it. Multi-seat contest. No, I think it could be like a perfectly usable way of doing elections. Single word? No, it seems to be fine. It just didn't like Alaska for some reason. It would get rid of the need for primaries. Yeah, there you go. Right now, just Alaska and Maine. Didn't somebody else vote for ranked choice voting? I could have sworn there was other states, but I might be wrong. Maybe those are just like ranked elections. Oh, there used to be. There used to be. North Carolina had ranked choice voting. Nevada has ranked choice voting as of right now. You have to wonder what trained it to find that. Yeah, what did Alaska do? What did Alaska do to get to get auto-modded? Oh, maybe in local contests, I assume. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, for some reason I thought there was more like more states that had like ranked choice voting. That was in my head, I guess. Yeah, these are all like different local areas. Yeah, local contests. The AI has learned that Alaska needs to be redacted all by itself. True. That could threaten the election campaign industrial complex. Election campaigns must be eternal to maximize the flow of money to MSM corporations. True. We cannot disrupt that. Very true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even suggesting it, Maple Leaf Dragon. I apologize. Don't listen to me. Lowering his salary enabled him to continue receiving tax-free perks and gave the companies his savings via his reduced paycheck. He also testified that the scheme saved Trump Corporation some money in lower payroll taxes. The start of Weisselberg's testimony and trial came hours before an expected announcement by Trump, possibly a third presidential campaign. Yes, we already know. It followed testimony by two prosecution witnesses who continue to work for the Trump companies and whose legal representation in the case is being paid for by the Trump Corporation. Jeffrey McConney, the comptroller of the Trump Corporation, seemed more like a defense witness at times during the days of testimony. He repeatedly said he did not understand some questions and deduct some others by Assistant District Attorney Joshua Steinglass. He appears to be more at ease replying to questions from defense attorney Susan Noshelles. On Monday, acting Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan, the judge presiding over the trial, granted Steinglass' request to designate McConney as a hostile witness that enabled the prosecutor to ask leading yes or no questions, which McConney answered. Yeah, so we're gonna find out more. But you know, it wouldn't surprise me. It's not out of like the ballpark. You know, that Trump is engaging in some like sketchy business practices, and it's found out that his corporation did some, you know, criminal financial fraud, whatever. No primaries. There are shorter campaigns, right? Which means less money flow. Our election cycle is way too long anyways. As soon as one election is over, we're getting ready for the next. Right. That's right. Guess what, folks? We're back in election gear because the 2024 presidential election has just kicked off. That's right. Oh, I hate it. Deborah Tarasoff, the accounts payable supervisor for the Trump Corporation, testified that Weisselberg told her to delete his name from the descriptions on the invoices in the firm's records that paid the private school tuition of his grandchildren. Oof. Those payments were made by Trump, and Weisselberg did not disclose the gift as taxable income, the prosecution evidence showed. Weisselberg is scheduled to continue to testify when the trial resumes on Thursday, today. Just keep that faucet of money. True. The next election starts before the previous one is fully counted. True, we're already getting geared up for the 2024 election cycle. As we know, it's going to be the most important election, of course. Primaries are held by political parties to decide who will be the candidate. Why would ranked choice voting be change that? Because now it changes the dynamic. Third party or independent candidates, although highly unlikely, but it would provide a path for an independent or third party candidate at that point, because it's just the nature of the ranked choice voting. Third parties are possible now. Not really. Like politically viable? No. They exist. They exist, but they're not really viable. So basically what you would have, you would have basically just like general elections, and you would have the list of candidates, and then whoever makes, the first, I think like top 3, then go off to like a runoff or something like that. Or the top 2 would go off into a runoff. That's it. They have been on occasion in American history. That's incredibly rare. It's like cherry picking. Yes. This time, this one time, a third party managed to win. Therefore, third parties are viable. What? We have top 2. Top 2. There you go. What would be similar? Because like the way ranked choice voting works, here. If no one gets 50% of the vote, the lowest person gets removed and their voters get redistributed. Right, and then it goes on to another cycle, right? And my bad karma day continues. My dinner order didn't have 3 of the items. Damn. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Maple Leaf. Until somebody gets 50%. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So it'll continue to cycle until somebody gets 50% of the votes. Gotcha. Threshold may or may not be 50%. It depends on the number of candidates. Well, it depends, because the way this one is set up, like for example in New York, you can rank up to 5 candidates in order of preference. Instead of choosing just one, a candidate receives more than 50% of first choice votes, they are the winner. If no candidate earns more than 50% of the first choice votes, then the counting will continue in rounds. At the end of each round, the candidate with the fewest votes will be eliminated, so then it cycles again. Somebody gets eliminated, it cycles again. Your vote will go to the next highest ranked candidate on your ballot. Then this process will continue until there are 2 candidates left and the candidate with the most votes win. There you go. I think 50% means like if you don't get an outright 50%, if you don't get more than 50% in the first round, then it will continue to cycle out the lowest, the lowest candidates. There is more than one type of ranked choice and variation of rules. Yeah, that's also true. But generally, the gist is always the same, right? You can adjust the different variables and the different threshold if you want, but the mechanics are similar. The mechanics are similar. All right, folks, we've got... I agree that there should be ranked choice voting, but will politicians and paid experts agree to the method? Well, it's not up to them. If there are ballot initiatives across states and it becomes more and more of a thing, then yeah, that's one way of doing it. There are multiple versions of ranked choice voting, ranked choice elections, but more of the other ones tend to be designed around proportional representation rather than just straight runs. STV, for example, is used in local elections here. Gotcha. Yes, there are different versions of ranked choice voting, as Redmond and James Napper pointed out. However, I think that the mechanics of how it works is pretty much the same. I've been an assistant teller for ranked choice contest, but only with 24 voters. With 5 candidates, the threshold is less than 50%. Yeah, I mean, it just depends how you want to make that threshold, but the mechanics is still the same. Proportional representation would be nice too. True. Massachusetts said no as a whole. It waters down the vote. Ha. I don't think that's true. I think that's a misconception. This was probably misleading. Misleading because that's not what ranked choice voting does. And the only way you would feel that way is if there's more candidates to compete against, in which case, what the fuck? I think that's misleading to say that ranked choice voting necessarily waters down the vote. So whoever was like campaigning against it, yeah, that's pretty misleading. The Electoral College waters down the vote. True. All right. But people don't want to find candidates as a whole. It's too much work. What? How could that be too much work? You don't even have to vote for all of them. You just kind of number them. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just number them. I don't know. That's just a silly thought. That's a silly thought. Politics is not a spectator sport. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Well, we have multiple candidate contests right now in some places. Yeah. Multi-seat, I mean? Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, folks. This story, this one's gonna be a doozy. So, Republican clowns, have been using migrants as, they have been using human beings, for political stunts. And in their latest political stunt, oh, okay, I gotcha. Gotcha, Redmond. And, it was only a matter of time before, somebody got, hurt. In this case, a child. Child on a bus, of migrants from Texas hospitalized for dehydration. This is the Republican Party, folks. Cruelty is the point. Philadelphia officials lashed out at Texas Governor Abbott on Wednesday after a 10-year-old girl who arrived in Philadelphia on a bus of migrants from Texas was hospitalized with dehydration and fever. This bus carried 28 people in total, 5 of them children. Philadelphia officials said at the news conference on Wednesday Abbott's office did not immediately respond for a request to comment about the child because he's a fucking coward. Philadelphia City Council member Helen Jim, a Democrat, told NBC Philadelphia it's one of the most inhumane aspects that they would put a child who is dehydrated with a fever, now a very high fever, on the bus. Right, cruelty is the point. Make no mistake, cruelty is the point. Abbott, a Republican who was reelected to a third term last week, announced in a news release on Tuesday that his administration would be sending migrants to Philadelphia from his state for the first time Wednesday. Until the Biden administration does its job and provide Texans and the American people with sustainable border security, Texas will continue to be doing more than any other state in the nation's history to defend against an invasion along the border. What a disgusting human being. What a piece of shit. Including adding more invasion. Child, 10-year-old, freaking is incredibly ill. Invasion. Using the terms invasion. What a piece of shit. The GOP wants to be constantly mean and nasty and keeping their word. Yeah, no, these people are absolutely serious. And we should treat them as such. They are absolutely serious. Even though I call them clowns all the time, they're very serious. Including adding more sanctuary cities like Philadelphia as drop-off locations for our busing strategy. Yikes. Yikes. Omega yikes. Giga yikes, one could say. Abbott's office said Philadelphia is an ideal addition to Texas' list of drop-off locations for migrants because it's the city's mayor, Jim Kenney, has long celebrated and fought for sanctuary city status. Kenney, a Democrat, expressed outrage for Abbott and his tactics. Kenney said his office was told last week that a bus of about 30 asylum seekers would be expected to travel from the city to Del Rio, but he said Texas officials did not coordinate their arrival. Of course not. Cruelty is the point. This information was confirmed late yesterday without coordination or warning by Texas Governor Abbott's office through a press release. Kenney said at the city officials' news conference, it's not just unproductive and disappointing, but it's downright irresponsible and callous to do this unannounced and without coordination, showing blatant disregard for the sanctity of human lives. No, they don't give a shit. Republicans don't give a shit about any of that. They've shown that they're willing to use human beings for political stunts. That tells you everything you need to know. The same thing with that piece of shit Ron DeSantis. The same thing with Ron DeSantis. Kenney emphasized that migrants are welcome in Philadelphia, and saying officials are focused on, as ever, on welcoming and supporting anyone who wants to visit or live in our great city. Not only that, if these were asylum seekers and Governor Abbott just completely bust them to a completely different state, and they're already, in danger of like missing hearings or anything like that, if they're already in that process, that would make it even worse. Governor Abbott and his administration continued to implement their cruel and racist policies. He continued saying Abbott's using immigrant families, including children, as pawns to shamelessly push their warped political agenda. True. Abbott warned President Biden in a letter that Texas would ramp up its efforts to deal with the influx of migrants. He said that Biden must implement or reinstate policies that enforce federal immigration laws and protect the states against, quote, invasion. Again, this language, invasion. Jesus Christ. Furthermore, federal immigration laws are being enforced. In fact, up until now, the overwhelming majority of like the immigration policy has largely been left untouched. Up until recently, when we went over that story yesterday about Title 42 being repealed, that was only done recently. Save for a few things here and there, Biden's immigration policy was very much similar. Very much similar. So, like, what gives? Yo soy San Hidalgo. Yadore, to see you. Thank you. I think I understood that. So I am Anne, and I am happy to see you. Happy to see you guys. Happy. I don't know. I'm not French, but I'm not French, but I speak Spanish. And I can read and understand Portuguese. So a little bit had to do a little bit of pasting together. What is your political position? Well, I don't like to use labels. The more you stay in this channel, the more you kind of figure out where I stand just by my own prescriptions of policies and whatnot. It pretty much tells you my actions and my politics will speak for themselves, I think, is probably the best answer. Is the best answer I can give you. My policy prescriptions and positions will speak for themselves. I'm an anarchist. Cool. We've got lots of different flavors of left here. We've got a lot of different flavors from the left here. 2 years of inaction, and now on your part, now leave Texas with no choice but to escalate our efforts to secure the state. Your open border policies, which again, it's a complete lie. There's no such thing as open border policies. Like you can't name a single open border policy. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Here, well said. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's better if I just like I said, I think it's better if I just let my politics speak for themselves. The name is Anne. I don't know. No, the translation is that they the translation is that I'm Anne, and I am happy to see you or adore. So I'm assuming happy to see you. Or happy to be a viewer, something to that effect. Happy to see you is what I'm interpreting from the context clues. I don't speak French, so and that's as. And they said I got it. They said I got it, so I'm gonna go with that. Open border policies. There's no such thing. This is just an outright lie, which have catalyzed an unprecedented crisis of illegal immigration, are the sole cause of Texas having to invoke our constitutional authority to defend ourselves. As if, like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this is grotesque. This is gross. This is gross. A federal judge ruled on Tuesday that the U.S. government can no longer use a Trump-era policy that allowed authorities to severely limit asylum seekers, which was Title 42. That's what they're referencing. In recent months, Abbott has repeatedly sent migrants from buses in Texas to other major cities, including New York and Washington, D.C. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a Republican, has made similar efforts. And Republican Governor Ron DeSantis also currently, there is an investigation into that stunt that he did with the asylum seekers. So I hope something comes out of it. Although, you know, who's to say? Honestly, fuck these people. What a bunch of assholes. Like, seriously. There's no other way of putting it without trying to mince any words. They're just assholes. They're just assholes. And like the fact that they would like, that they are comfortable of using human beings as pawns for political stunts is quite appalling and disgusting. Fuck these guys. Yes, political pawns, correct. That's right. Just a bunch of assholes. All right. I have no tears of joy about it for sure. Yep. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad because there are genuine people who are getting hurt by this. Children. For the horrible, heinous act of attempting to find a better life. Thinking that they were coming to a place that would help them. This is the Republican Party, folks. I mean, this is what happens when they win elections. I'm just saying. Every nation has borders, but this is my gripe with third-party people. I could never dismiss electoral process and government in the hands of the white supremacist faction of the GOP. Yeah, sure. I'm not disagreeing with any of this. I'm not disagreeing with any of this until the actual system itself, the way we have our setup, is fundamentally changed. Whether it be that, I don't know, we somehow if we Thanos snapped and had like a parliamentary system, then we could figure out different routes of how to move. But the way it stands right now, I mean, part of our job, I'm assuming, part of our job is to pump the brakes. Is to pump the brakes on that. Leftist best. You're exactly correct. It's to pump the brakes on these fucking fascist fucks on the GOP. It's incredibly imperative that we do that, and whatever tool is at our disposal needs to be deployed, and that includes getting out there and voting. If that's a tool that's available to you, then you should take advantage of it. That's all. You shouldn't expect to just magically say, "Oh, I voted, and therefore everything is fixed." That's not how this works. There's plenty of work in other areas to be done. I'm just saying, if it's a tool, and it's on the table, don't let that go to waste. That would be silly. if the far right considers that tool important enough for them to go out there and use it, that should mean we need to take notes of that, right? Because if not, then what's the point? Alio with another 10 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, let's try to end on a slightly good note, yeah? California releases sweeping new climate action plan to reach carbon neutrality. Whether or not this is going to actually succeed and how much it's going to cost, no clue. But definitely a noble effort to be noted. California air regulators on Wednesday released the final draft on the state's new climate blueprint, charting an ambitious path to dramatically reduce planet-warming gas emissions over the next 2 decades. This plan would siphon down the state's use of fossil fuel almost entirely and paints a not-too-distant picture of what Governor Gavin Newsom said is a pollution-free future. It is the most ambitious set of climate goals of any jurisdiction in the world, and if adopted, it'll spur an economic transformation akin to the Industrial Revolution. Based. That's what you need to do right there. You need to talk like this. If you're gonna sell like climate legislation, you need to talk like this. And I'm only speaking to like the political angle. You need to sell it like this. You need to do shit like this, okay? You need to use rhetoric like, yeah, this is if adopted, if we can get this ball rolling, it'll spur an economic transformation akin to the Industrial Revolution. Holy shit. Listen, there's a lot of things that can be said about Newsom, but this one here, right on the ball, right on the money. I completely support this route. His administration is billing it as the world's first achievable roadmap to implement carbon neutrality from a major economy. But nothing in this document will be easy for California, nor is it guaranteed to succeed. Right, but we have to try though. Like there is no room. We have to do whatever it is that we can now in as many ways as possible, as quickly as possible. Disclaimer, but necessary for progress. Yeah. Absolutely. His administration, the plan drafted by the State Air Resource Board calls for slashing greenhouse gas emissions below 1990 levels by 48% by the year 2030 and 85% by 2045. So far, the state has cut its carbon pollution just 3%, and recent research from the UCLA suggests that those gains might have been wiped out by firestorms of 2020. Jesus Christ. California would need to add tens of millions of electric cars to its road and be using a tenth of the liquid petroleum, gas, and diesel it uses today in little more than 2 decades. Damn, that's rough. But, yeah, go for it. Fuck it. The state officials said the backbone of this transition is a clean, affordable, and reliable grid. True! You're going to need to be able to have an upgraded grid to handle this. The policy framework includes a commitment to build no new gas plants based. Instead, the state will meet this increased demand for electricity with renewable energy based. To do that, California will need to build more wind and solar at a highly expedited rate, based quadrupling its current capacity. Damn. To keep the lights on, California will need to double down its existing electricity generation capacity. The state narrowly avoided rolling blackouts this year after electricity demand nearly surpassed supply during a heat wave that baked the state for 10 days in September. Lauren Sanchez, the governor's climate advisor, acknowledged on a call with reporters that this plan indeed will be very difficult to achieve because of the scale and task and the speed which it needs to be delivered. Yeah, no shit. It's a monumental Herculean task. So is dealing with the climate crisis. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Nowhere in any of the scientists' language or rhetoric in any of these papers from like the IPCC or anything like that, none of them are like, yeah, dude, this is just going to be like a walk in the park. No. Every academic publication and research points to the idea that this is going to require radical, fundamental changes. It's not easy. By no stretch of the imagination did anyone of the academic and scientific world has said that this is going to be easy. The open borders thing isn't something that exclusive to the left either, which is why critiques and scare stories are a bit silly. Yeah, especially here, especially here in the U.S. Jason Brennan, the guy who wrote Against Democracy, also co-wrote a book called Defense of Openness, and they basically propose a libertarian argument for why the nation should be allowed to free move. I'm very well familiar with the libertarian angle of it. For them, border perpetuates global inequality by restricting access to wealth and property, and I wonder how hardline Republicans square those rhetorical circles. Right, because the Republican Party isn't libertarian. The Republican Party, not in the real sense, not in the meme, like libertarian meme sense. The Republican Party is just like, again, they don't care about any of that, and a tenet of fascistic thought is to be able, or authoritarian thought, is to be able to hold two contradictory statements or contradictory ideology completely fine. They can completely say in one breath one thing and then contradict it in the other. Same. It's kind of a par for the course. I mean, like, it's just going back to Trump's speech, right? The radical left, is both a force of nature that is destroying the country, and also, weak snowflakes, weak blue-haired SJW snowflakes, right? Like, that's just the way these people think. And of course, Republicans have decided that they're going to move in the more radical, fascistic direction. Right, Republicans don't care about any of those arguments. Correct. They're not interested in anything that, unless it makes someone, unless it makes their base feel a type of way, they don't really care. And consistency is not really a thing. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for the follow, Big Fat Commie. I appreciate that. Welcome. Appreciate that. The governor will not take failure as an option, and neither should any of us. The state's powerful air board circulated a preliminary draft of the plan earlier in the year with the goal of 40% emission reductions by 2030, but Gavin Newsom asked the agency to be more aggressive. While the board hashed out details over the course of months, California passed regulations to phase out the sale of new gasoline-powered cars. Yep, we talked about this. And Newsom signed a series of aggressive climate bills into law, setting new targets for clean energy and carbon sequestration on natural and working lands, and establishing new rules on existing oil wells in your neighborhoods and schools, and expanding carbon capture and removal. Hey! Look at that. Thank you for the follow, Big Fat Commie. Enjoy the free emotes, including Paquita the cat. This latest draft incorporates new efforts these new efforts and offshore wind, clean fuels, and climate-friendly housing construction. I don't know about clean, quote, fuels. Advocates of environmentalists want the state to move even faster and press for more aggressive targets. Ellie Cohen, the CEO of policy nonprofit Climate Center, UC Berkeley professor Dan Kamen argued in an opinion piece that last week that California's target to be at least 55% below 1990 levels levels by 2030. They also criticized the state for what they say is gambling on carbon capture and storage, a failed and expensive technology, and perpetuate pollution in frontline communities. Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't just rely on this. This would be silly. It's not ready. Republicans believe that laws should be enforced, and the concept of homeland defense is very strong with them. Some conservatives are open about how they believe immigrants from Mexico say Mexico cannot adapt to the American style of living or something. Yeah, but even then, like, even then, that doesn't even make any sense. I've had these arguments with right-wing people. I've had these debates. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because it's like, yeah, they can't adapt to the American style. Yeah, you do realize that a lot of and now they're gloating about it, which is really fucking funny. Now they're gloating about it, that they're increasing, the Latino vote and stuff. Yeah, dude, Latinos from Central America are super freaking socially conservative and would absolutely be Republican voters. In fact, they are, more and more of them, because they're conservative dudes. Like, these people are just so, like, caught up in their racism. It's just wild. It's just like how like fragile you must be to think that there's some kind of like invasion of the homeland happening right now. To think that, like, what? The Mexicans are coming to take what? It's just victim complex. Yeah, yes, that's true. A lot of it has to do with like religious nonsense. That's true. But I'm saying that like a lot of these people, a lot of these like Central American folks, and because I'm from there, a lot of these like Central American folks and whatnot, like, yeah, dude, the people that are coming here, they are very conservative. They're socially conservative. I mean, look at the leader of the Proud Boys, and ended up being like the leader of the Proud Boys is Enrique Tarrio. GOP xenophobia is part of long American traditions. See the Chinese Exclusion Act, etc., etc. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Reached by email on his way back from COP27, Common said that the state's latest version still relies too much on these technologies. In 2006, Republican Governor Schwarzenegger signed a AB 32 Global Warming Solutions Act into law, which mandates that the state produce a climate change roadmap every 5 years. This Air Board released its first plan in 2008, and this is its third update. Board Chair Leanne Randolph told reporters that this update is far and away the most important and one with the most ambitious targets. We need to take action to reduce the worst impacts of a changing climate, and there's only one way to do that. Break forever our dependence on fossil fuels and the harsh grip of petroleum, and move as fast as we can to a clean energy economy. Yes, that's what this plan does. It delivers a massive reduction of climate warming pollution. The state's estimate it would cut air pollution by 71% and save Californians $200 billion in health costs due to pollution, while creating 4 million new jobs. Nice. That's how you have to talk about it. Really. Yeah, it is a sad, unfortunate tradition. Not something to be proud of. Dinesh D'Souza loves Trump. He and his wife admit that they are racist against brown people and leftist people. Yeah, Dinesh D'Souza, yeah. All right, folks. I unfortunately gotta get going. It is that time, 7:13. It's past 7 o'clock. Yesterday, I think I stayed up way past my time. Are you familiar with the streamer Famous Horse? Think you and your viewers would like him in his community. Epic Left streamer. No, I've never seen them before. Never seen them before. Let me see. Well, good stream. Thank you for the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are they online right now? We can just do that.
Ad block detected.
I think they're playing.
Have you talked about like the apocalypse that's coming to Chrome?
No.
I think they're playing Dark Souls. I don't know.
So apparently Google is coming up with a new way to basically just disable all ad blockers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, they seem pretty chill. He game streamed sometimes, but mostly politics. Oh yeah, no, I'm mistaken. They were looking at some graphics of Dark Souls, but nonetheless, they seem pretty chill. We can raid them. We can raid them if they're. He admitted it. He admits it on stream. Jesus, on video. Let's see. Left is best subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Folks, I do have to get going. Twitch me. YouTube me. That's funny. Thank you, Zeoduke, for showing some love in the YouTube chat and in Twitch chat. Look at that. Appreciate that. Folks, I do have to get going. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for hanging out here. We are live Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So check us out. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the follow button. And be like Zeoduke and head on over to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. Spread the word far and wide. We're here Monday through Thursday. There's also a couple that support the fall selection. Yeah, I know it. I enjoyed it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hit the like button on your way out if you're on the YouTube side. Subscribe on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for all the biddies, top content and thoughts. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Left is best for the Prime subscription. Alio with the biddies. Big Fat Commie in the Paris for the follows. Ola Kala for the follow. Hilda Beast for the massive raid. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for the support. If you see somebody with diamonds, make sure you go show some support. There's a couple of fine folks in here. Go to twitch.tv/Alio. Twitch.tv/Hilda_Beast. Hilda Beast. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love y'all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya. Have a good weekend. Yeah, take care, everybody. Alright, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.